Hello YouTube, the Eye of Stone here, and here we are at the splendid and majestic Haunted Cathedral for a little general purpose chaos. At the outset, I want to say that this video is almost entirely this video is dedicated, but this video also owes a great deal to the recent very important work that has been done here at the Haunted Cathedral of Thief Gold and Thief the Dark Project by WungusDasPungus, which is an awesome YouTube username, and as a former YTP and YTP MV offender myself, I am able to recognize what a username like that might signify the linguistic shift of time. Notwithstanding, I would love to re-upload my YTPs, but we don't do that here on YouTube anymore. So anyway, WungusDasPungus has shown us something really interesting and different here at the Haunted Cathedral in the mission Return to the Cathedral in Thief Gold, Thief the Dark Project, and we're going to expand and amplify upon that. He has shown us a little navigational exploit that can be executed without modification to the level, which Ekmer and I, both of us, had up to this point missed. So, what WungusDasPungus has done is very impressive, and in it I see the potential to push it further a little bit. So that is what we are going to try to do here today. So here we go.
Return with talismans, you clever man. I did not think it likely that you would succeed.
Now, this is going to require a fair deal of rather careful setup. And it's kind of an interesting question what order we really want to take this in. The issue is that there's some setup that's involved. They are going to get pretty revved up. And to make this easy on ourselves, we're not studying how to play Thief correctly in this video. Actually, I sort of want them over here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to dodge that ghost's fire. And we're actually going to draw the hammer haunts up here. And we're going to take them out, actually. Let them come. Alright. This becomes a lot easier to do if we take those super fast hammer haunts out of the equation. We do want to attempt this task on the normal difficulty setting. Now we've got to be careful for zombies. I might have to come back up here. Whoops, okay. Alright. Easily rectified. Oh, seriously. Really asking for it there, Mr. Zombie. Now, we want to avoid taking the eye, actually, because that. But take more than that, Mr. Ghost. Okay. Now, I apologize for the delay, but my hope is that you are... Get out here already. Alright. I apologize for the delay, but this is, of course, to quell people who might be vocally concerned that this stunt is, in fact, being done without modification to the level or any cheating as such. Now, if you're going to explore this vein, I would say don't get the eye first.
Flames around you, flames, nothing but flames burning your flesh.
Getting the eye and having him on you could cause issues, getting out of bounds and not ending the level on yourself. Actually, I think what would happen, believe it or not, is if you did what I'm doing and you took the eye, you would find that he would congratulate you for finding him, but that the level itself would not actually end. So, nope. It's one of those things where you just have to be a little bit patient. Now, I think that what we want to do is we want to have one of those stationed there, and let's see. I suppose if we could draw this zombie inside, we can do something about him so that he's not in our way anymore. Let's just see. Usually there's a... Yeah. Okay. Oops. Alright. Now, WungusDasPungus framed this like, if you don't want to have to bother with putting up with all Brother Marissa's whiny, all the things he wants you to do, there's another way to take the eye and get out of this level, which it's clever. If you have the eye with you, yes, you can use it to do that. Of course, my interest is not directly in circumventing Brother Murris, although the little montage of Brother Murris lecturing at Garrett was very funny to watch. I will link to his video in the description. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. Okay. think what we want to do is station that one there. And then we want to come back over here. Let us take the zombie out. There's going to be 2 of them, actually, that we want to take out. Let's try this again. These things do not happen quickly or easily. It takes a lot of doing to pull shenanigans off like this. Well, I sure hope I don't miss again. Alright. Let's save, for goodness sakes. Now, this just takes patience and a sense of inane amusement and building ramps, getting places you're not supposed to be, doing things you're not supposed to do. If you don't have the patience or interest for that, you're not going to reach these hard-to-reach areas, and for most players, that's just fine. But, you know, Ekmer and I were happy to see when we watched WungusDasPungus's video that we're not the only ones who are exploring this facet of Thief. I keep saying WungusDasPungus, but we don't say that anymore because, you know, it's like if the people who run YouTube now even actually watched some of the YTPs that are probably still up and just forgotten by the algorithm, to say nothing of the ones that have been taken down that I have backed up, if the people who run YouTube or the people who are for all the censorship on YouTube could even see some of the shenanigans we used to get up to in the YTP community, their heads would probably explode. Oh darn. How terrible that would be. But because of my possible having made, you know, in my early 20s, having made a few videos that looked like a idiot 14-year-old made them, whenever I see WungusDasPungus's username, I want to say something else, but Dr. Robotnik says we don't say that word anymore on YouTube. So, and I'm assuming that's what he's referencing with his username. I could be wrong, but to certain people on YouTube, a username like that tends to suggest a certain history. It's just a suggestion. All right, let's try to do it like this. Again, sometimes you have to be sometimes with this you have to be stubborn. Okay, almost. I don't think I'm going to need to bring a third. It's basically doable. No worries. It's doable. It's just I might have to get a third box. I'm really, more than anything else, just being lazy at the moment. Don't think we're going to have a skybox issue here. We might. I can sort of tell when something like this is going to stop me, or if it's just a matter of some really precise finger work, which, you know, I'm supposed to be really getting Garrett centered on this box before I attempt the jump. This is sort of like Thief Assassin's Creed stuff. You know, all those insanely stupid, insanely flashy moves that Ezio the Ham is able to execute. Garrett was doing it before he was even a thought. And Altair too. Let's see. How am I going to do this? I might need to, actually, I bet you, short of taking the melodramatic step of bringing more boxes all the way up here. It's just a matter, boy, my crate skills are rusty. No, that's not going to quite do. That might do it. That's kind of a wonky platform. Okay, here we are. Now, ladies, gentlemen, and other persons, this is the Eye of Stone first. Your Eye of Stone has never been up here. Because before WungusDasPungus's recent video, I don't know, if I haven't misunderstood Ekmer, it wasn't necessarily obvious in Vanilla Thief or in other versions of Thief that the tree to that platform to up here was even doable. And since we're here to explore, WungusDasPungus's interest lay in circumventing all Brother Murris's tedious chores and the danger involved. I don't know if his interest is related to speedrunning or not. Certainly this is a speedrunner's dream, but if I had the eye with me and we went exploring up here, as we get to that main gate, it might cause me issues with the level ending. So let us do what we always do when we reach these hard-to-get-to areas here on the Eye of Stone, and let's explore. This is, all very raw and unedited and unscripted. As I narrate, I am seeing this for the first time. I kept the editing of this video to an absolute minimum, in case that wasn't obvious already. We'll get down there eventually. Sometimes when you go down, you can't get back up. So what you want to do when you're exploring is you really want to save at the highest point. In this connection, I will mention that it was not until Ekmer and I perfected flare elevatoring in Thief 2. I had long dreamt of getting up onto the roof of Haunted Cathedral, because before I even knew what flare elevatoring was, there was this idea I had of stacking other objects, and that's not elevatoring, that's like ramp building. Before we had flare elevatoring, my main method of getting to places like this was what I just did there, basically crate stacking, ramp building. Well, in Sabotage at Soulforge, there's actually no crates available, so I was therefore using a smattering of other objects, mainly the destroyed hulls of Builder's Children, to try to get up on the roof. And until flare elevatoring became a thing for me, I just wasn't able to do it. But interestingly, it had never even occurred to me that what you're seeing now was even possible. So I wasn't tantalized or frustrated by it. I don't know why. I mean, I wanted to get up onto the top of Angel Watch 2, and with flare elevatoring, we did it. But until then, we didn't. So, Ekmer and I, our interest is just in getting places Garrett is not supposed to be without modifying the level. Now, it's not a ton of real estate up here. It's certainly of interest to me and Ekmer, but I just want to make sure that I exhaust the possibilities. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to save here, and then we're going to come down here and try not to get caught, and we're going to explore this platform. You notice there's no sound. Garrett isn't making any sound. Alright, now, it would have been easier to do this. Let's see what happens when I go here. The level may, you never know what happens when you come to one of these areas. All kinds of things can happen. The level can freeze and the game can crash sometimes. Okay? Like that. That's not so good. In patched versions of the game that you're playing on Steam, it's not. I've learned it's not necessarily so bad, but in old school vanilla Thief, you don't want to be seeing something like that. That probably means your game is about to crash. Now, but see again, everything, I can't get to there through here. It may be that there's somewhere else in the level I could get out of bounds enough to get to where that was, but not from here. Alright, so this is pretty self-explanatory. Might be a good good spot for a screeny. I don't think that's going to be particularly the right thumbnail for this video, though, because why would you? You know, you don't want to rush. You don't want to assume that just because you've got the gist of it doesn't mean you don't have every little delicious morsel. If you have the appetite that for this that Ekmer and I do. That's a big if, admittedly. But these videos have been part of the Eye of Stone since basically day one. That's not going to change now. Now, let's see here. I think if we just watch our finger work, we can glide down like so. And again, that's sort of more for my own amusement. I'm not saying that's a great screeny for this video either. Let's see. So we can get there now. What else might we be able to do? Oh! Close. Let's see. Yeah. It's just a question of stubborn persistence. There we go. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Well, I don't know. It has... This would almost be kind of a passive-aggressive place for a screenshot. It doesn't really show what you're actually capable of doing, that you can, you know, get to the roof. But on the other hand, this is an angle that will tell the discerning thief connoisseur that you're certainly up to something. This is more of a hint that would fill the frame of a thumbnail the way you're supposed to. Whereas, you know, I mean, this is even more striking if you're able to put two and two together and think, now what the hell is he doing up there? But I don't know. This is a more descriptive, but I don't know that it's particularly good for getting people to click on it. Maybe it is, because it's like if you just detached a camera from Garrett, you could take that picture pretty easily by modifying the level. Let's come back over here. Maybe something like this, possibly. Now, let's see if we want to make sure. See, over there. Again, let's not rush it. This might be good. It's getting close. Alright, you can lean. Let's see. Okay. So, It's like you don't ever want to save to an area where you can't get back up to your highest point. Generally speaking, I would say going for a corner or an edge is not your best way to do this. There we go. Okay. Again, Garrett is a thief. Okay, he steals things. He breaks into people's house, he bops them on their head, and he takes their valuable property. That makes, in case, you know, some people hadn't noticed, and the way people talk about this game, sometimes it's like, you begin to wonder, in case you hadn't realized, Garrett is what we call a criminal individual. And you could at least make the argument that trespassing into areas like these where you're not supposed to be is absolutely in line with the spirit and purpose of this game. It is criminal intent. The MCP would be sending game tanks and grid bugs after me if he could. And hello, beautiful. Ekmer is probably going to love this when he watches this video for the first time. Okay. Now, alright, so it's not really worth... We can survey this little pocket decently well without jumping into it. Kind of gotta watch my finger work here, because if I goof up, it's going to be kind of a long reset to get back here. Okay. If we can get there, what does it get us? Which I really don't think we're going to be able to. But you never know. Okay, so there's like the road we're going to, you know, theoretically take to get out of here once we get the eye. Now, this is kind of interesting, but I want to know as much as possible. You know, the question in my mind right now is that a jumpable ledge even though it is invisible? Well, I don't know whether it is or not. We didn't need to... we didn't really need to jump to figure that out. But without a crate, going any further in this direction is going to be impossible. I'm actually rather impressed. Been doing this for a long time, and this is one of those things where it's like, well, close, but not quite, and there would be a lot to see if you could get there, but you just can't quite. But in this case, we could. So, what else? There was one other thing. We went that a ways. What I want to do real quick here is I just want to come this way again. Let us let's come back down here. Not that far down. Alright, we could still get back up there if we needed to. So I'm going to come down here, go here. You got to make sure you're fully on one surface before you try to get to another. Now, I did not exactly peek over this ledge, and this is one of those situations where there's probably just no way to get any further. But we want to be sure. So anyway, for those of you who are not necessarily interested in skipping out most of the level once you get the eye, but are interested in bizarro, ponderous, pointless explorations, I do believe that we have explored just about everywhere that this wonderful hidden gem that WungusDasPungus has discovered allows you to get to, it is a level with a lot of walls that are high but very close to buildings, and perhaps Ekmer and I need to have a more thorough look at this level in Dramed to see if there aren't potentially, for some reason I can't go any further, potentially a great deal more areas like these in this level, Return to the Cathedral, that would allow us to get out of bounds in the manner that we are always so hell-bent in getting. So, with that said, I will see y'all back next time, you taffers. Later.